What do hotels, airlines, retirement, and your 1 crore have in common? They all make or break your financial future. This week on Learning Saturday, we have 3 high impact webinars. First step, Decoding India's hotel and airline industry. A deep dive into industry dynamics, post-pandemic shifts, regulations, and Indigo versus peers. Led by Krishan Bhaiya at 11 a.m. And we also have a Kodishwari webinar, Beyond Gold and FDs, a smarter take on retirement planning for modern women. This is exclusively women-only webinar to move beyond traditional savings to build confidence, independence, and long-term security with Aishwarya Mahesh and myself at 11 a.m. At 6 p.m. in the evening, we have Accelerate Your Wealth to 1 crore, a strategy-led session on how discipline and structured investment can systematically take you to 1 crore milestone by Mr. Shyam Sekhar. This Learning Saturday, don't consume just content, upgrade your thinking. Link in the description, register now.
Hi, and welcome back to iThought Connect. And let's look at how ithoughtPMS has done for the year 2025. 2025 has been a year that reminded investors why process, discipline, and patience matter more than headlines. Through sharp corrections in small caps, pauses in large cap rallies, and stretches of flat markets, ithoughtPMS stayed anchored to a simple idea: own good businesses, diversify sensibly, and let time do the heavy lifting. Instead of chasing what was fashionable every month, the focus remained on building resilient portfolios that could absorb shocks, participate in opportunities, and keep compounding quietly in the background. As we stand at the close of 2025, the story of ithoughtPMS is not about one blockbuster month or one perfect call, but about how each of our strategies walked through a challenging year with consistency and clarity. Across the year, markets swung between extremes. There were months when small caps corrected sharply and tested conviction, and months when quality and defensives emerged as the clear winners. There were phases when indices hit new highs and it was tempting to chase momentum, and others when consolidation set in and noise around valuations grew louder. Through all of this, we at iThought held on to a core philosophy: quality over momentum, risk management over excitement, and long-term compounding over short-term outperformance. If you have been following our fact sheets for this year, you would have seen that each fact sheet reflected the same underlying message. Portfolios were built to endure, not to impress for a single month. Quick recap on all our products. Solitaire, our flagship flexi-cap strategy, is a good example of this approach in action. All through 2025, Solitaire continued to back consistent compounders with strong balance sheets and high earnings visibility, even when mid and small caps went through rough patches. The portfolio maintained a high allocation to debt-free companies and a consciously lower beta, which helped it stay resilient in months when volatility spiked and sentiment turned nervous. There were standout months where performance was strong, but what truly stood out was how Solitaire refused to chase fads and instead stayed aligned to its long-term character as a steady all-rounder. Next, TrueBlue, the large cap anchor, reinforced the case for owning market leaders in uncertain times. Through bouts of weakness in large caps and phases of broad market consolidation, TrueBlue's design, low churn, high conviction, and a sharp focus on strong Nifty 50 names ensured smoother participation in equity markets. For investors who wanted equity exposure without constant anxiety, TrueBlue once again delivered what it was exactly built for: reliability over drama. Vriddhi, the small cap strategy, walked through one of the more emotionally demanding parts of the market cycle. Corrections in small caps through the year tested patience, but the portfolio stayed true to its private equity style approach of backing niche leaders, scalable business models, and well-governed companies that are often under-researched and under-owned. There were months of sharp drawdowns and others of powerful recoveries, yet the narrative remained clear. This is a strategy for patient capital that is willing to live through volatility to capture long-term wealth creation in emerging leaders. In that sense, Vriddhi's journey in 2025 was not just about performance, but about helping investors build the right mindset for small cap investing. Next up, we have Sphere, our multi-asset strategy, which quietly showcased the power of asset allocation in a year of shifting global and domestic cues. By blending equities, debt, global exposure, and a meaningful allocation to precious metals, Sphere offered a smoother ride when equity markets either paused or corrected. There were months when gold and other alternatives did the heavy lifting, and others when equities led the way, but the common thread was balance. No single asset class was allowed to dominate risk. For investors who did not want to constantly choose between growth and protection, Sphere proved yet again that diversification done thoughtfully can deliver both. And throughout 2025, NEO, our NRI multi-asset strategy, combined India's structural growth story with a multi-asset framework that recognized global macro realities. With a blend of domestic equities, international themes, and precious metals and debt, it offered NRIs a way to stay rooted in India's opportunity while still managing currency, global risk, and diversification in a sensible way. In a year where global headlines often swung from optimism to caution, NEO stood out as an all-weather solution for investors living abroad, but investing with an India-first mindset. So if there is one common thread running through all of iThought strategies in 2025, it's this: discipline paid. Whether it was resisting the urge to pile into overheated segments, staying invested through corrections, or choosing balance over extremes, the portfolios were managed with a clear, repeatable framework rather than reaction to every market move. As the year draws to a close and a new one begins, this is a good time for investors to pause and ask a few important questions. First, is the current portfolio or is my current portfolio aligned to long-term goals? Second, is risk being taken consciously or by accident? Third, is there a clear process behind how money is being managed? If the answer to any of these questions feels uncertain, the beginning of a new year is the perfect moment to reset, realign, and rebuild with clarity. iThought offers distinct strategies from large cap stability and flexi cap compounding to small cap growth and multi-asset balance. But all of them share a common foundation of research, prudence, and conviction. So as you step into the new year, consider making one powerful financial resolution: move from ad hoc investing to a clear, process-driven journey. If you would like to review your current investments, explore which of our PMS strategies fits your goals, or simply start your wealth creation journey with a guided, research-backed approach, this is the moment to act. We wish you all a happy new year, and don't forget to reach out to the iThought team to schedule a conversation and let this new year be the year that you not only invest, but invest with intent. You can get in touch with us at 9500 27285.